Welcome back here to Boreo's 8891 McDonald's Parkway in Cicero, New York. A lot of things happening out here. Boreo's having a great time, having some fun with the fans, making us laugh.
Photobombing us.
So much going on here. Love being out here with the community and signing autographs. Adrian doing that for you and just being a part of something special. You know, you never got to do anything like this before, so I'm happy that, you know, my company gets to bring you out here, do this once a month, and with thanks to our broadcast media and Syracuse University, doing a lot of great things together. And
this is definitely a great venue. I appreciate to have an opportunity to come out here. But again, being with the community and interacting and seeing how much, you know, how excited they are for Syracuse basketball is amazing. And sometimes, you know, we don't get a chance to see that, but just being here right now and as people walk through paths, you know, they stop and ask questions and talk and get excited. It's really something to be said for that.
Absolutely. I mean, there's always excitement. And that's the funny thing is that, you know, basketball technically takes a break, that people aren't watching it, but you never take a break. I never get to take a break in covering basketball. So one of the questions was, you know, during football season or during even summertime, why do a live show on basketball when there's no basketball on television? But as you know and I know, there's always basketball. There was Summer League that I covered down in Orlando. You're out there recruiting. And there is not a moment, and Syracuse fans, don't lie to yourself, there is not a moment that a Syracuse basketball fan ever stops being a basketball fan, ever sleeps on basketball. As soon as Syracuse is out of the tournament, the question is what's going to happen next year, what we're going to get next year. And it's truly an amazing thing that this town is always ready for basketball.
Well, the support is phenomenal. It's a big reason why, you know, it's a big part of a reason why a lot of these kids come here because of the support, the community that they rally behind, the tradition that Coach Boeheim has built here. But, you know, most our fans are unbelievable, you know, and they travel. You know, this is our first year traveling in the ACC, and, you know, we went down to North Carolina State, you know, Wake Forest. You know, we didn't go to NC State, but we went a couple of years ago. Big following. Went to Wake Forest this year. Big following. Went to Maryland. Nice following. So it's a testament to the Syracuse brand and the fans. You know, and all we ever try to do is just give back by going out there, giving 110% and playing hard as we can.
Absolutely, and then this is a team that obviously has shown a lot of success, especially last season, starting 25-0 when there was no expectation of that whatsoever. Tyler Ennis doing a lot of work, Jeremy Grant, Michael Benajay, Baikita, you go down the line. There's not one player that I think that was on the court that you can't say had some piece of why the team was so successful, and that's something that I think, you know, Boeheim hears it all the time, and you know that his answer to it is never positive, is who is your lead guy, who is your go-to guy, and I think Syracuse excels every season because there is no go-to guy, and I know people will fight with me about Carmelo, but I would like to mention Hakeem Warwick. I'd like to mention Jerry McNamara, where Carmelo didn't have perfect nights every night. He didn't have a double-double every night. There were other guys, Josh Pace, even Craig Forth when the tournament came around, that had some plays inside. So I don't think that this team has ever had a go-to guy. I think they've had go-to guys, and I think that's why they're successful.
Well, I think the one thing about Coach Boeheim is that he does an unbelievable job of meshing talent and gelling talent and getting them to play as a cohesive group and a cohesive unit and being able to share the basketball and share and play with each other. I think, you know, a lot of times, you know, what basketball has become is a go-to guy, and everyone thinks that's in the NBA, not in college. I think in college, you know, it's more of a team-oriented sport, and the NBA is more, you need to have one or two superstars to win it because that's the best of the best. But in college, it's more of, you know, having good players and everybody kind of playing together, working together as a unit. And that's the one thing that Coach Boeheim does an unbelievable job of.
When you have the forwards and Mike Hopkins has the centers and Jerry McNamara is working with the guards, when you all come together, obviously in practice the guys are all going to get time to mesh together, but you're teaching something, Mike's teaching something, Jerry's teaching something. It's been talked about since it happened that it's great to have all Syracuse alum on the staff, but you all have different teaching styles, different teaching mechanics, whatever it may be. How do you all come together so successfully that the three of you can do you and teach your way, but it always seems to gel together, and Syracuse really never has a bad season?
Well, I think, our familiarity with playing with a coach, understanding his psyche, his mindset, I think that helps us out tremendously. And then whatever we are trying to accomplish, we know how it needs to be broken down within a group, and then to kind of bring it together collectively. And as coaching staffs, me, Jerry McNamara, Mike Hopkins, as the course goes on during the year, we spend a lot of time kind of talking, communicating with each other, and we get prepared for practice and practice planning, different things that we may see or we may talk about. Say, hey, you know what? I noticed that too. Hey, let's come together and let's do this or let's do that. I think the biggest thing is understanding coach and knowing what he expects and his expectations, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We know because we play for him, and I think that makes it a little bit easier for us. I think that's the advantage that you have when you play and you coach, under the guy that you play for.
When you're coaching under the guy that you played for, how similar or different is it to be a coach as opposed to being a player under Boeheim? I mean, how do you kind of see them either parallel or contrast each other?
Well, good question. I think, as a player, clearly you have, more freedom to kind of be more, you tend to think about yourself more. As a coach, you have to think about the whole group and what the message is being taught. I have to get on the same page with Coach Boeheim. I want to be saying the same thing that he's saying. So a lot of times, I may, even as a coach, you may think it's this way, but you want to make sure. So, you have a conversation with Coach. Hey, Coach, in this situation, or you bounce it off Coach. Hey, in that situation, you can, what should we do? How do you want to do it? How do you want to play it? And I think, as long as we're all on the same page and on the same page with Coach Boeheim and understanding what he wants, I think you just, you go from there and get your point across however you choose to get it across. But it's still the point of what Coach Boeheim is echoing, what he wants to get done.
We've talked about it before, that there's this mentality that Boeheim doesn't involve himself a lot with the goings-on of practice, that it's more of you and Mike and Jerry, that you're breaking these guys down, but he's not saying a lot. People say that, when they watch a game, he's not saying a lot on the court, but I know that differently from being at practice and having him talk. What can you say about him as a leader? Because the wins say a lot, but in practice, that Boeheim has things that not everybody gets to see, and I know that as well, and I want to bring some of those to light that have really established his leadership with these young kids.
Well, I think when you have someone as successful as he is, as good a coach as he is, he's been around. The one thing we talk about in coaching is, throughout young coaches, is being able to, the one thing about Coach Boeheim, he's able to evaluate and let kind of people play. And he doesn't try to win every battle. I think overall, he's an overall thinker, the big picture thinking.
Right.
And I think that's his kind of coaching style. So as opposed to some coaches, young coaches or coaches that are not quite up to him, they coach every play and coach every single thing and try to fight every single battle. I don't think he does that. I think he does a good job of kind of letting things play out, and then when it's something that's for the overall, I think he'll address it. I think he has a great patience about him and a great confidence, to be able to do that. That's hard. And, a lot of times people tend to try to fight every battle and overcoach, and I don't think he does it. I think, when he speaks, people listen. I know the players listen, we listen, and it's not something that you just hear all the time. I think he watches and evaluates, and then he speaks on it, and I think that's kind of his style.
Was it difficult for you, like you said, whatever Boeheim's saying is what you want to say, how he's teaching is how you want to teach the guys? Was it hard to get on the same page as coach, or I mean, you've been here a few years. Did it take some time, or was it more like, no, we kind of were already on the same page? I mean, oh
yeah, same page already. Just playing for him because I know his mindset, I know his mentality, and I know, a lot of it is a mental approach of how you play. It's not so much technical, but you got to be able to do and handle and play a certain way for coach.
That's Adrian Autry. We're here at Boreo's, 8891 McDonald's Parkway, on the water on Oneida Lake, every single season, winter, spring, summer, and fall. And in Syracuse, let's just call it winter for 6 months, a little bit of summer, and we do get some fall. We don't get spring anymore, but we get.
The weather is absolutely phenomenal here. For all you people that's not in Syracuse, the weather is unbelievable.
And no matter what the weather is, Boreo's always gives you an experience that you will never forget. Truly amazing. I've never seen, coming out here, I remember during the winter when we were looking for a venue for my wife's bridal get-together that she was doing before the wedding, and bridal shower. Couldn't think of the word right there. But to see 40, 50 snowmobilers just come across the ice, hang out here, all come here, park their snowmobiles, get something to eat, and then you come out here when the weather breaks, and there's people out on boats, there's people relaxing outside, having weddings out here. So it's truly an amazing experience no matter when you come out to Boreo's, 8891 McDonald's Parkway. They're open every single day of the week except for Monday, so just make sure you don't come out here on Monday. But Tuesday through Sunday brunch, phenomenal. And we're actually going to enjoy some of the food while we take a break here. 8891 McDonald's Parkway, Boreo's. Adrian Autry, Syracuse Orange men's basketball assistant coach. I'm Dan Tortora of Dan Tortora Broadcast Media. You can catch us once a month right here, and you can at Boreo's, and you can catch us all the time on YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT and WakeUpCallDT.com's page, Seeing Orange with Red. We are never off the air when it comes to WakeUpCallDT.com, with you every single day of the week, all the time. And I appreciate all of you, no matter when you listen or when you're watching, that you have the support that you brought to us, and we bring it right back to you by doing this for the community every single month.